Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Narasim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So this video was like, this man was saying that the blue eye, blonde hair are part of the people that support white supremacy, and you and I can actually concord that is true. And if you as a white person cannot see the struggle of black people, the indigenous people, and other groups, if you are not seeing them, you need to reevaluate your humanity, because the bad things that I have been seeing going on, the people that perpetuate and support that are the blue eye, blonde hair. You guys are so good at it. The fact that majority of you are not seeing the humanity in other people shows how your humanity is all gone. The fact that somebody today is applauding what is going on, the fact that human being people are applauding the things this man is doing shows you how some people will never change. And not until you all, especially white people, stand up against white supremacy globally, because it's not just only globally. Life is not going to be okay. Let's get into this video.
As a member of the blue-eyed, blonde-haired gene pool, I just want to state unequivocally, fuck white supremacy and anybody who supports it. Anyone who can't see the inherent value of indigenous people, black people, and the global majority have expressed to you their inability to see the humanity in us all. That's not superiority, that's the weakest members of our own humanity. And on behalf of the humanity that dwells within you and us all, we must stand together, united, locally and globally, against white supremacy. If you don't look like me, I stand with you. And if you look like me, stand with us.
We have some news right now. Donald Trump is moving forward with plans to create the Department of War. Yes, I'm serious. He and the administration are now working to rebrand the Department of Defense as the Department of War. Now, if you know anything about the Pentagon's history, it used to be called the Department of War way back in the 1940s. It hasn't been called for many years that name because, well, the United States doesn't just go to war every day, at least according to politicians. Now, here's the thing. Donald Trump can't actually do this without congressional approval, but he probably will get Republican support here because this is not a big issue that Republicans typically will disagree on. But it is interesting that the President of the United States, who says that he has now stopped 7 wars or 10 wars or 6 wars, it changes based on the day, that he now wants to rebrand his Department of Defense as the Department of War. In any event, spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown of this and more on my Substack, linked in bio. Subscribe for free. Follow along for all the news you need to know about. More to come soon. We have some serious news right now. The U.S. post-war plan for Gaza calls for the temporary relocation of residents living in the Gaza enclave to clear way for a luxury tourism destination. According to the Washington Post, the Trump administration is currently discussing a plan where the United States will take over Gaza for a period of 10 years. This plan would completely relocate the residents living in Gaza, the Palestinians who are entitled to that land. It's a 38-page proposal. It essentially would take over Gaza by the United States of America, oversee it for 10 years, and turn it into a, quote, high-tech and industrial center along with a luxury tourist destination. The residents, the 2 million people currently living in Gaza, would either have to voluntarily leave the enclave or be placed into secured zones within the enclave during the relocation process. Landowners would receive, quote, digital tokens in exchange for redevelopment rights. If a Palestinian chooses to leave, they would receive $5,000 in cash grants, rent subsidies for 4 years, and 1 year of food, even though their land is worth a lot more than $5,000 plus about $15,000 in rent subsidies. But preventing Palestinians from access to their homes or the failure to provide adequate food, shelter, and Medicare care would not comply with international law. We'll see what happens next. Spread the word and follow along for all the news you need to know about.
You said this with words. Not Sanskrit, not call signs. You said this with words. I genuinely want to know, what does this man have on all of you? What does he have on y'all? Does he have pictures of y'all doing things with animals and shit? Because there's absolutely no way y'all can peddle this bullshit to us out loud in front of us like we don't see you. We're looking at you. We are looking directly at you while you say this. And even if we aren't, we are giving you the bombastic side eye, the criminal offensive side eye. Trump is actually the president that keeps us out of war. Are you fucking kidding me? This man bragged about giving billions of dollars in arms and ammunition to Saudi Arabia. Do you know who Saudi Arabia is currently at war with? Yemen. This man continues, like all Republicans and Democrats, to give billions of dollars in arms and ammunition to Israel. Do you know who they're at war with? The Palestinians. This man gave money to Ukraine to fight to fight Russia. He bombed Iran. He continues to arm both sides when Rwanda is attacking the Congo and the Sudanese war. He continues to do this. He wants a Nobel Peace Prize for stopping wars, but he hasn't. Now, I get it. Both sides do it. Republicans and Democrats do all of this because the United States, along with Russia, China, France, and Great Britain, are the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. And they are also the biggest arms dealers on the face of the earth, and I understand that. I do. But you have got to be fucking kidding me with this shit. When the globalists stop, you mean Jewish people, and I really wish you would just fucking say it. Just say it. I'm surprised you didn't put George Soros in there. You mean Jewish people, stop. Just fucking stop. Globalist Democrats and Republicans wanted him to invade Syria. We were in Syria. You not understand that? You see, we have a group, a little department in the United States called the CIA, Central Intelligence. Yes. And what they do is they like to prop up proxy wars. We've been doing it for decades. We have no problem doing it. That's how much we do it. And it happens under Democrats and Republicans. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. But Trump doesn't stop any wars. If anything, he says he stops wars, and y'all believe that he stops wars, but he doesn't. Because the defense contractors will not allow him to. And all they have to do is butter his ass up, and pretty much they can get anything they want. Why would you use words to say this? Why would you find it within your vocabulary to use the word globalist when you really want to say Jews? I don't know why. Your anti-Semitism is showing, but I digress. Trump is as much of a warmonger as any other president you can name. The only difference is he's the idiot that will say the shit out loud that we all know in our hearts is happening, but it's supposed to be a shh secret. Trump ain't stopped shit. Trump is knee deep in a war. In fact, he's actually, the biggest war that Donald Trump has declared is on his own citizens. Uh-oh, wasn't ready for that one, were you? But it's true. He has declared war on the American citizenry. Why in the world would he want to send in fucking National Guard troops to cities? You understand that the word guard is in there, right? Why would he send these armed National Guardsmen into cities? Why would he be circumventing the law to do it? Why does he have fake-ass ICE agents snatching people up off the streets? This is a war mentality. He is not only perpetuating it, but he is celebrating that he's perpetuating it. That's not what non-war presidents do. Our civil liberties are gone out the fucking window. Our First Amendment right to free speech is being literally cut because of this man. Donald Trump fools y'all with words. What I don't understand is how many dumbass people do we have in this country to believe them? Because I don't. I haven't believed anything that man said since 1989. My hatred for him goes way back. It does. I didn't need a reason to say fuck Donald Trump. I say it out loud. It keeps my teeth white. Y'all have got to stop with this shit. Okay? Just because he said it does not make it true. And I have never, ever, ever understood how in the fuck is it that for 10 fucking years, the only thing this man has ever offered y'all is words. He has never offered you a single action other than cutting the taxes for the rich. Y'all think these executive orders are somehow the new law. They're not. They're words on a piece of paper that he signed, and it will be erased with the next president. What the fuck are you talking about? He tells you he's trying to get you out of wars. Meanwhile, he's actually funding other ones. That doesn't mean he's getting us out of war. It means he's funding them. He just doesn't want us to know. And on the one hand, he is no different than the other Republican or Democratic president that we've had since World War II. But on the other fucking hand, it is words. Y'all act as though you're not looking as the Heritage Foundation. Oh, I'm sorry. Donald Trump is funding other wars in different places. Like defense contractors do not also have their fist up his ass. Without a war, what the fuck would America do? That's right. Start taking it out on ourselves. This is disgusting. The level that you people will go to defend anything that this man does. It is literally degradation on a level I have never seen before. There are men that have children that don't believe in them as much as you guys believe in Donald Trump. He is not a get us out of war president. He's I'm going to say I'm getting us out of war, but I'm going to continue to be in wars in different places. If we sell arms to both sides, we are in war. If we are funding, we are in war. Just because he uses flowery words does not take that away. He is still just as much of a warmonger as any other president. Do you know how Donald Trump can completely get us out of war? By not funding anymore. At all. On the face of the earth. If our fingerprints are on it, we're involved in it. And I do not care if you use a third party to sell said weapons like they've been doing. No. If we're selling arms to a country to fight and our fingerprints are on those weapons, we're at war. You just don't have to see it. But we are. Donald Trump is no different. The only thing that differentiates him from all of his predecessors is this. He will tell you he's not a war president. Fox News will tell you that he said he's not a war president. Tucker Carlson, Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, they will tell you that he said he's not a war president. TikTok creators here, right-wing TikTok creators, will tell you that he said he's not a war president. It's the worst game of telephone I've ever seen, because while all of these people are repeating what he said, we can see what the fuck he is doing. How low is your fucking IQ if you can't do that? I would say try again, but really, honestly, I genuinely don't want you to. The fuck?
When people ask me why I was such a diehard Trump supporter, this was the reason why. Because of this comment right here, I felt like this. I felt like that in 2024 that white men were the only people who were legally discriminated against. In fact, I'll take it a step further. It was the white, straight, Christian, conservative male that would be discriminated against in 2024 in the United States of America. We had tolerance for everyone else but us. And truth be told, it wasn't until I realized how ignorant and uneducated I truly was that I began to think and feel and live differently. Growing up in a society and a system that by design centers and caters white, straight, Christian males, anytime you see any other type of inclusivity, any type of diversity, equity, and inclusion, it will begin to feel like oppression. And that's sad that this is the truth about the world that we live in today. And people say all the time that if we just stop talking about racism, that it will go away. People believe that because they don't experience interpersonal racism, that it doesn't exist on an institutional or a systemic level. But it's because of comments like this that we know it's alive and well. People will be like, well, we don't have a white entertainment channel, or we don't have historically white colleges. We don't have a white history month. We don't have white-owned businesses. When literally whiteness has been the standard in this country since the birth of the nation. I remember when I first started seeing interracial commercials, and I would get so mad, I'd be so triggered. And I'd say things to myself and to friends and family, I don't care what you do, I don't care about interracial dating, but why do they have to shove this down our throat? And the same thing with gay pride or trans talk. I would get so triggered, I don't care what you do, but why do you have to shove it down our throat? But could you imagine for 1 second being a member of one of these marginalized groups growing up in this country? What it must feel like to have whiteness or straightness or Christianity shoved down your throat every single second of the day? And then when you begin to question it or try to create a safe space for yourself, you're told to go live in another country if you don't like it. Or stop being the victim. Or don't blame the system, you need to take personal accountability. And this is the question I have for people who get upset about it, because I know a lot of people in my everyday life are still upset about it. Why are you so triggered? How hard is it to deconstruct and re-educate? And why are we so afraid to do so? Are we that insecure? Are we that fragile? Are we that mediocre that we cannot compete in a world that has a level playing field and equal opportunity for every single person? I mean, hell, if we really think about it, if we really want to get mad, we need to get mad at our ancestors. We had a 400-year head start, and many of us are still living in the trailer park. But for real, though, why does inclusivity feel like oppression to us? Why do we get so triggered? Why do we think it's a zero-sum game? Why do we look at it as a piece of pie in which if somebody else gets a piece of the pie that we don't get our piece? And I have a very unpopular belief that I'm going to share with you, and I stand on it, and many people are going to be triggered by this. But in 2024, if you're white in America, you're racist, unless you've actively chosen to do the work to become less racist. But by default, if you're born into this system with our institutions, the way that we are taught, programmed, and conditioned, through no fault of your own, you have been taught and programmed to be racist. And this is why education is so important. And don't take it personal. I'm not attacking your character unless you willfully refuse to learn. I'm attacking your education and your beliefs. And I challenge you to become willing to see the world from a different perspective. That's all. That simple. So ask yourself this question. One simple question. Are you up for the task? Are you
This
willing
is
to
all I got from this video. For those that are busy saying what they don't understand, everything is changing. They said he is going to help them stop war, that he is the only president that has not, like, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. I hope you all are seeing the things he's doing. To my greatest surprise, sincerely speaking, I never knew that, he planned on to create Department of War from Department of Defense. And you can imagine the last time it was called a Department of War was in the 1940s, if I am not mistaken, according to what I heard from Aaron. But Matt, it looks like everything he is working on is to bring back old things. Old things, like the time some people were suffering, the time some people couldn't speak, the time some people couldn't go to school, the time some people did not have freedom of speech, freedom of life, like freedom of everything. So let him bring back all the horrible things, all the bad things, because so far, everything he wants to bring back, it's just like the way he said. Anyways, he said, make America great. And you know how great it was in 1940s and those back in the day. That is exactly what he is trying to do. That is exactly what he's doing. That really sucks. On a very serious note, and the problem we have in this life so far is that I don't know, it looks like some people's conscience are no longer, I don't know, they don't know I don't know if it's maybe some people don't know what is good from what is bad. Because sometimes I feel like, why are some white men still standing on their solid rock, defending bullshit and rubbish? Because how are people finding the things going on okay? How are people finding the things going on normal? Because they are not normal. There are not things people should celebrate. There are not things people should be happy with. There are things people should be proactive with. But everybody is in kind of, let's be very active with, I mean to say. But some people are just like, whatever happens. Things are going bad literally every day. Policies are changing every day. Policies that you never knew or you never dreamt that, one day somebody will remember to change it. So that is to tell you that I don't know, but they are trying to make United States autocratic government, because with all these things going on, it's very obvious. You don't even have to ask. You don't even need to. It is obvious that they want to make it a harder United States. That is how bad it is so far. I don't know how I feel, but this is what it is. Life happens. Things, it's really lifing. And for the people in Gaza, see, each time we talk about what is going on in Gaza, all I can say is that some people play themselves, especially Arab Americans. They completely play themselves, because this woman was very, very vocal about what she wanted to do. And at the other hand, the other man was also very vocal about what he said he was going to do, because Black people also knew he said he was going to take that place to resort. And when Black people started trying to remind them, look at what this man said, they said Black people said that they are going to talk. How? And now you all are seeing what the memo, the handwriting. And to the Arabs that said he promised them peace, how far? How were you with the peace? I hope the peace is not piecing you, because so far all I can see is that the peace are in piecing. You all betrayed the people in Gaza, because you guys were the votes that they needed to make things better, to make things easier, to make life okay for them. And you all failed, and then ended up blaming people that did nothing to you. I don't know where this government is headed to, but I hope all these rumors comes to reality. I am going to draw the curtain here. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.